He had more money than most people see in a lifetime. 5 years later, it was completely gone. In a merchant city where fortunes were made and lost daily, 2 young men each received an inheritance of 1,000 gold coins, more money than their parents earned in 20 years, enough to build empires or waste away in months. One man turned his 1,000 coins into 10,000. The other turned his into dust. And the difference wasn't luck. It was whether they followed the basic rules of money. The first man's name was Camel. The day Camel received his 1,000 coins, he felt invincible. He thought, "I'm rich now. I can do whatever I want." A stranger approached him at the marketplace, well-dressed, confident, charismatic. He said, "I have an opportunity that will double your money in 6 months. I'm selling shares in a trading expedition to the Far East. Guaranteed returns." Camel didn't ask questions. He didn't check the man's background. He didn't verify anything. He just heard "double your money" and gave the stranger 500 coins, half his inheritance. Gone in one decision, the stranger disappeared the next day. The trading expedition never existed. Camel lost 500 coins to a con artist because he ignored the first rule of investing. Never invest in what you don't understand. Now Camel had 500 coins left. He was more careful this time, or so he thought. He heard about a new spice that was becoming popular. Everyone was talking about it. Prices were rising fast. Camel took all 500 remaining coins and bought as much of the spice as he could. He didn't diversify. He didn't keep any savings. He put everything into one single thing because he heard it was hot. For 2 months, the price kept rising. Camel felt like a genius. On paper, his spice was worth 800 coins. But he didn't sell. He got greedy. He thought, if it went from 500 to 800, it'll go to 1,000. Why sell now? Then the market crashed. A new trade route opened. The spice flooded the market. Prices collapsed. Within a week, Camel's spice was worthless. He tried to sell. Nobody wanted it. He broke the second rule of investing. Never put all your money in one thing. Camel was now completely broke. 1,000 coins turned to dust in less than a year. He blamed bad luck. He blamed the con artist. He blamed the market. But the truth was simple. He ignored basic rules and paid the price. The second man's name was Rashid. When Rashid received his 1,000 coins, he also felt excited. But before doing anything, Rashid asked himself a question. How do I make sure I don't lose this? Rashid went to an old merchant who had built wealth over decades. He said, "Teach me. I don't want to waste this opportunity." The merchant told him 3 simple rules. First, never invest in anything you don't understand. Second, never put all your money in one thing. Third, always keep savings for emergencies. Rashid listened. He followed the rules exactly. When strangers approached with guaranteed opportunities, Rashid asked questions. How does this work? Where's the proof? Who else has succeeded with this? Most couldn't answer. Rashid walked away. He only invested in things he understood. When he found legitimate opportunities, Rashid never put everything in one place. He bought shares in 3 different trading caravans. Not 1, 3. If one failed, he still had the others. He invested in land. He bought tools for craftsmen and took a share of their profits. He lent money to reliable merchants with clear terms. He spread his risk across multiple sources. And most importantly, Rashid always kept 200 coins in reserve, untouchable. No matter how good an opportunity seemed, those 200 coins stayed safe, emergency money, just in case. 5 years passed. One of Rashid's caravans was robbed. He lost that investment, but he had 2 others that succeeded. The loss hurt, but it didn't destroy him because he had diversified. One of his land purchases didn't appreciate as expected, but his other investments covered it. He stayed profitable because he never bet everything on one thing. And when unexpected expenses came up, Rashid had his emergency savings. He never had to sell investments at bad times or borrow money desperately. After 5 years, Rashid's 1,000 coins had grown to over 3,000. Not because he got lucky, but because he followed simple rules consistently. Meanwhile, Kamel was working basic jobs, trying to survive, with nothing to show for the inheritance he once had. One day, broke and bitter, Kamel saw Rashid in the marketplace, clearly successful. Kamel stopped him and said, "We both started with 1,000 coins. How did you turn it into wealth while I lost everything?" Rashid looked at him and said, "Because I followed rules. You ignored them." Kamel got defensive. "I took risks. I went for big opportunities. That's what you're supposed to do." Rashid shook his head. Taking risks isn't the same as being reckless. You gave money to a stranger without checking. You put everything in one investment. You kept no emergency savings. You broke every basic rule of money management. Your gold turned to dust because you treated it like it didn't matter. Here's the truth about money that destroys most people. The rules aren't complicated, but ignoring them is expensive. Rule 1. Never invest in what you don't understand. If someone can't explain how you make money in simple terms, walk away. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. If you don't understand the business model, don't give them your money. Kamel ignored this and lost 500 coins to a con artist. This happens every day. People invest in things they don't understand because they're afraid of missing out. Then they lose everything. Rule 2. Never put all your money in one thing. Diversify, spread risk. If one investment fails, you have others. This isn't about being scared. It's about being smart. Kamel broke this rule and lost everything when the spice market crashed. If he had split his money across 5 different investments, he would have survived. Rule 3. Always keep emergency savings. Life happens. Markets crash. Opportunities appear. If all your money is locked up in investments, you can't handle emergencies, and you can't take advantage of good opportunities when they show up. These aren't complicated rules, but most people ignore them. They chase big returns. They trust charismatic strangers. They put everything in one hot investment. They keep no reserves. Then they lose everything and blame bad luck. But it wasn't bad luck. It was bad strategy. Kamel represents most people who get money. They don't follow basic rules. They take reckless risks and call it investing. They ignore fundamentals and hope for miracles. Rashid represents people who build lasting wealth. They follow boring, simple rules. They diversify. They understand what they invest in. They keep emergency funds. They're not exciting, but they win. Think about your own money. Are you following the rules? Or are you ignoring them and hoping it works out? Your money can turn into more money or turn into dust. The choice is yours. But the rules exist for a reason. Follow them or pay the price. Kamel's gold turned to dust because he ignored simple rules. Rashid's gold multiplied because he followed them. Same starting point. Different respect for fundamentals. One thrived. One lost everything. Stop ignoring the rules. They're there to protect you. Subscribe for more.